Hey guys, and welcome to another Skyrim video. So since I finished the main playthrough for you guys, I was super excited to give mods a try on Xbox One. I've been modding both my PC version and my Xbox One version of Skyrim Special Edition, and mods have been landing so quickly, so it's been really fun trying them out on both versions. This video is just going to focus on the Xbox version. So I didn't use any mods during our playthrough of the main questline of Skyrim because I wanted to give you guys the vanilla experience, how Bethesda intended that game to look. But now we've finished that, I definitely want to start adding mods to my game. So all last night I was playing around with a lot of mods that are on offer and basically seeing which ones I thought were best and would bring the most change with the least amount of mods needed for the game. So these are all going to be Xbox One mods. A lot of them will work on PlayStation, but unfortunately not all of them will, because Sony have basically not allowed a lot of their assets and textures to be opened up to modders. So their modding experience is going to be a little bit more limited. So this is more specific to Xbox One. So the good thing to note is that modding on Xbox One is super easy compared to modding on PC. You're not going to need to download a specific program to put your mods into. You're not going to need to mess around with something like loot to organize your load order, although you can edit your load order manually if you'd like to. All you need to do is go to your menu, scroll down to mods. You do need to create a Bethesda account if you don't already have one. It lets you organize them by the most popular ones, the most downloaded ones, and by category. So I've had a look at which ones people are using, which ones the most popular ones are, and it's really great to see a lot of really popular PC mods are also arriving on Xbox. So on Xbox you can only store 5 gig worth of mods. I've added about 10 or 15 mods to the game and I'm on about 2 gig already, so there is a limit there. And to compare that with PC, some PC mod users will have 150 gig worth of mods, so it is quite limited. However, I think that a lot of the mods will be made with Xbox in mind, so you're not going to get loads of 4K retextures, but you are going to get little tweaks that are going to make your game look a lot nicer. So here is my list of the 5 mods you need on Xbox One. Before we even get into that list, there's 2 mods that I think you should download that are so important. I haven't even put them in my top 5 list because these are like above number 1. And they are the Static Mesh Improvement mod and the Unofficial Skyrim Special Edition patch. The Unofficial Skyrim Special Edition patch is a mod that's going to tweak a lot of the things in the game that modders decided Bethesda hadn't done a good enough job in. So this is bugs that you might encounter with certain quest lines, with certain characters, just little tweaks to the game that are going to make it a bit more of a smooth experience. So I'd install that straight away because that is going to ensure that you're not going to run into any of these bugs and that your Skyrim is going to be a more enjoyable experience. The second thing is the Static Mesh Improvement mod. This is one of the most popular mods you can get on PC, and what the creator Brumbeck has done is basically looked at so many of the models, the 3D models in Skyrim that Bethesda maybe haven't done a great job on, and he's added more polygons and tweaked them to make these objects look so much better in game. In his description, he says that this has been a 4-year project and there's over 1,000 meshes placed on 40,000 locations in the game. So it's a huge mod. It's also probably going to be one of the biggest mods you download. It's going to take up about 1 gig of space out of that 5 gig space that you have. However, you should definitely install this mod because it's going to make your Skyrim look so much better. You can basically see that these objects are a little bit awkward or wonky looking, or they just don't look like real objects before, but after the Static Mesh Improvement mod, they are smoother, rounder, just all together more realistic looking objects. So this is a must-have for your game. Brumbeck has mentioned that this is made for high-end PCs and he wasn't sure how it was going to perform on Xbox. However, I went in and out of a few different cities last night, looked at a lot of different objects in the game. I didn't notice really any change to the performance of my game, and the game looks so much better. So I haven't noticed any performance issues. I would definitely download this mod. Give it a go. If you're noticing performance issues, you can get rid of it and you're going to free up some space, but I think it's such an important mod and I haven't noticed any performance issues at all. So those are 2 mods that you need to add to your load order before you even start the game. Just click on those mods, set to enable, and you're going to have a better Skyrim experience, full stop. So let's get on to our list. So I may have cheated a little bit with item number 1. One thing that I really like to do is make cool looking characters, and character customization is something that's really important to me. It definitely makes my gaming experience better. So for this one, I've grouped 3 mods that I found made my character better looking in game. And that is Adorable Females, which is a stupid name, but never mind, Natural Eyes, and KS Hairdos LITE. Obviously, these are going to have more impact on your female characters than your male characters. You're going to find this with all Skyrim mods. They tend to be made for the female characters of the game and not for the male characters of the game, which is a little bit frustrating, but it is what it is, and hopefully there's going to be some better male mods added to Skyrim Special Edition on Xbox One down the line. So Adorable Females is going to change the texture of your females' faces, it's going to make them look smoother, it's going to get rid of that really blocky sort of angular look that characters do tend to have in Skyrim. And the result is prettier females. It also has an improved lip and teeth texture, so they're just going to look all around a lot more realistic. Natural Eyes is going to add new eye textures to the game, so they're going to look much, much prettier. And then KS Hairdos LITE adds 15 female and 15 male hairs to the game. So here is the character that we were using during our main questline playthrough. Now, if you want to change your appearance mid-game, there is a way to do that. So these mods don't only apply to new characters. What you need to do is head to Riften, head down into the Ratways, which is the sewer system, which you can get to on the boardwalk along the bottom of the river that runs through Skyrim. You then head to where the Thieves Guild is, which is the Ragged Flagon. I think that's how you pronounce that, Ragged Flagon. That sounds right. You go to the bar and then kind of turn back towards the door that you came in, and there will be a lady sat on a bench. She is a face sculptor, and she will let you change your character's appearance. So if you talk to her, pay her 1,000 septims, she will bring you back into the character creation screen of Skyrim. She'll also apply some lighting, which let you see your character a little bit better. So after those mods have been applied, here is how our character is looking. We're going to tweak her a little bit, but you can already see she has a smoother face and she looks a little bit different already. So what I basically did is went back to my character and tweaked her quite a lot to get a new looking character at the end. So I could use those KS hairstyles, which have much, much more realistic looking hair. Maybe not quite lore realistic, maybe not quite the hair that you would have if you were exploring Skyrim, but still very pretty hairs. And the eyes in particular, I think look much, much more realistic. And the result is, after tweaking my character, here is how my character looks now. I really like how she looks. I was really impressed with the mods and how they changed my character's appearance. It has a slightly cartoony sort of look, but it's not too bad, and I do really like how she looks. I also decided to remake her on PC using a few PC mods. Obviously these are more powerful, and I have a much more higher resolution retexture of the skin. And also on PC, there's a different hair mod called Apache Sky Hair, which adds hundreds of new hairstyles to the game. However, for fairness' sake, I've used one which looks very similar to the mod that we're using in the Xbox One version as well. And here is how my character looks on PC. So there is a different look. It's definitely more realistic looking on PC, but I am really impressed with how it looks on Xbox One. These changes are also going to change other characters in your game. So I thought we'd start with Vex, who is one of the Thieves Guild members. You can see that her face already is a lot smoother, she's a lot prettier looking. So we're also going to take a look at Lydia. So Lydia is one of the first female followers that you get, and she's a subject of a lot of mods. So here is how she looks with those Xbox One mods. So with Adorable Females, with Natural Eyes, and with the KS Hairdos LITE. Annoyingly, she's kind of copied my hair. Gonna put it out there, she's copied my hair. However, I was actually really genuinely impressed with how Lydia looked with just those Xbox One mods. She looks so much better than the very harsh Lydia that you get as default, and I think a lot of people are gonna be happy with that change. Just for comparison, here's how my Lydia is looking on Skyrim Special Edition on PC. So this is running the Bidgen, I think that's how you pronounce it, the Bidgen War Maidens. I also have Bidgen's wives and Bidgen's NPCs, and it just basically makes all the women, they do look super hot. They all look super hot, but it's a nice mod. I think it definitely changes their appearances up quite a lot, and I like that because default Skyrim, as I said, is pretty harsh and pretty brutal, and also all very samey. Those mods are the mods that I would use to improve the look of your character, and again, you don't have to start a new game if you want to give them a go. Just head to Riften, head to the Rugged Flagon, and speak to the face sculptor. So next up, we have a mod called Wet and Cold. One of my favorites on PC. It's a really popular PC mod actually, and what this does is will make your character and the NPCs interact with the environment in a way that makes it seem so much more cold and so much more brutal in Skyrim. So the first thing you'll notice is that as they're breathing and talking, there's actually condensation coming out of their mouths. You're only going to get this in the cold areas of Skyrim, but it definitely adds to that immersion element of the game. Also, you've noticed that we're on the throat of the world at the moment, and as it's snowing and cold up there, that snow is actually landing on our clothing and slowly building up over time, so it definitely looks like we're stood out in the cold. It's also going to add so many more effects, so the rain is going to look more realistic, and when you look up into the rain, you're going to see those little raindrops. Snow can blind you, blizzards seem more intense, and you can also kind of slow down when you're trying to walk against the wind. Basically, a lot of things are going to make your Skyrim feel colder and harsher and make your Skyrim experience so much more immersive. So next up we have Project HIPPIE. What Project HIPPIE for me is trying to do is recreate a mod that I use on PC called JK Skyrim. So what JK Skyrim does is eats up your frame rate, chews it up and spits it back out again, because it will impact your performance quite a lot. However, it makes Skyrim look gorgeous. Every city has kind of been reimagined. There's so much more foliage there. It's just added so many more objects and even like carts and that kind of thing. The Xbox One doesn't have JK Skyrim. However, it does have something called Project HIPPIE, which for me is the closest you're gonna get, because I was so impressed with the way that this changed the game. So here's vanilla Whiterun, and when you walk through the gates in Whiterun, here is how it looks in the vanilla standard version of the game. And here is how it looks with Project HIPPIE. So straight away, so much more greenery there. We've got trees growing throughout the buildings. We've got greenery on the floor. We just have so much more atmosphere. And Skyrim feels more full of life, which I love. So Project HIPPIE is definitely a must-have if you want your Skyrim to feel a little bit fuller and like it's got a little bit more going on. So something else, another mod that was running alongside Project HIPPIE in that last little video grab there, is a mod called Vivid Weathers. So Vivid Weathers is a huge weather and visual overhaul for Skyrim Special Edition on Xbox One. Again, it's another super popular PC mod that has made its way over. And what I love about Vivid Weathers is no day in Skyrim is going to feel the same. Skyrim is actually going to have different weathers, and the weathers can vary so much throughout the day and day to day as well. So you can wake up one morning and it's totally misty, it's really drizzly and rainy, you can't see the sunrise and you're like, oh, it's one of those days. You can wake up another morning and it's bright, glorious sunshine. They've changed the shaders and the way that the clouds interact with the sunrise and sunset to make it look so gorgeous. And then later on in the day, that mist rolls back in again and you can't see very much, your visibility is poor. And basically just things that are going to make your Skyrim day-to-day life feel so much more epic. And the atmosphere, again, is so much better because everywhere is kind of a bit closer and mistier looking, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. There's also thunder in the game as well. There's snowstorms, there's rainstorms, the snowflakes have been changed to make them look even better. There's new interior lighting that's tweaked as well, and exterior lighting, so those nights are going to be a little bit darker. And all in all, it's just going to, again, add so much to that immersion element of Skyrim, and it's definitely one of my must-have mods. So, the final mod that we're showcasing today in this list is the PAARTHURNAX dilemmas. So in my Skyrim series where I play through the main quest line, one thing that I found very irritating is that you have to decide whether to side with the Blades and kill PAARTHURNAX, or whether you want to not kill PAARTHURNAX, but then you're not really a member of the Blades. After everything you did for them, you're not a member of them because you refuse to kill PAARTHURNAX, who was an evil dragon but came to the light side and helped us defeat Alduin. This mod will remove that issue. So what it's going to do is make it so that you can be both loyal to PAARTHURNAX and loyal to the Blades. So what you need to do is make sure, first of all, you haven't already killed PAARTHURNAX. If you're adding this mod to your current game, You go and speak to Paarthurnax on the throat of the world. He will give you some dialogue. You then go and speak to the Greybeards, who again will give you some more dialogue and give you their thoughts and opinions. They're quite glad that you're not killing their leader, by the way. And then they will advise that you go and speak to the Blades and argue your case. So you'll go and speak to Delphine, and all the usual dialogue about why you have to kill him will appear, but then you can actually argue your case and be a lot more forceful and say, no, we are not killing Paarthurnax, and she will agree. So if you watched my gameplay series where I went through that main quest line, when I went back to the Blades and I tried to take one of the swords off the wall, when I interacted with it, it actually said steal, so I wasn't really a member of the Blades anymore. However, after going through this dialogue and speaking to Delphine and arguing my case, when I went back to that room, I was a full member of the Blades again. I could sleep in the beds, I could store my gear there, and I could take those blades off the wall without it being a steal animation. So this is definitely a must-have mod if you want to play that main quest line, because I think it's quite limited to not let you, the Dragonborn, argue your case after you've kind of done all the other stuff in the game. You've managed to make the Jarl of Whiterun house a dragon in Dragonreach, but yet you can't convince the Blades to let you back in. So again, just a really nice mod that for me is going to improve my Skyrim experience. So those are just a really short snippet of the mods that are available on Xbox One. Obviously the game hasn't been out that long yet. There will be more mods added, and I may take another look once more mods have been added to the game. But I hope that's given you a really good idea of how mods look on Xbox One. That is definitely my list of mods that you need to download. They are, for me, are the ones that are changing my game the most. Let me know how you get along with them in the comments below, and drop a like if you enjoyed this video. If you want me to do anything else on mods, let me know in the comments. And I may do a playthrough of a different questline in Skyrim. Right now, I'm thinking Thieves Guild, but you guys, please let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!